Hey guys, what's going on? It's Zhao again. We'll do a little Zhao gold guide if you may. I'll go over some techniques that I do. I'll go over some things that drive me nuts about other gold guides as well. So, as many of you know, the new expansion just launched about 3-4 weeks ago. Actually, so it's been, what, 6-7 weeks now? Throughout the course of WoW, as everyone knows, gold has always been an issue. You know, some of those guys coming back that don't have a lot of gold. There's many ways to make the inventory really work for you. And what I mean by inventory is what you're stacking and how you're really making your gold. So we're going to talk about professions really quick, and really how to maximize gold and how to maximize profit. So we're going to look at blacksmithing. Now, blacksmithing traditionally has always been a very good way to make money. Right now there are 3 different patterns, as you can see. You have your True Steel Reshaper, which really doesn't sell that much anymore. When the expansion came out, they're dirt cheap to craft, very easy to craft, only 10 ignits, 10 ore, and they were selling for about 500 gold. So you honestly would make 500 gold just in that a day, and that takes as long as pressing create. So you know what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds to make 500 gold. Easy, right? True Steel Essences were a first piece of really how to upgrade your craftables. Now, there are a lot of 640 epics that you can make. They are BOE, they're not BOP. These still are selling for about 5,000 gold, but you are going to be blowing about 100 ignits, and to me, you know, 5,000 gold for 100 ignits, not too much profit out of that. I mean, yeah, it's easy money. You're not really doing too much with it. We're going to talk about the greater True Steels, because those are really where the money's at, and I'm going to give you an inside tip to the next patch coming out. So, with the greater True Steel Essences, it's 200 ignits, 40 fire, Sorcerer's Fire, and then 15 Savage Bloods. Now, ignits right now, if you're 700 blacksmithing, you get 10 a day just by crafting. Now, you also get a lot from your garrison. If you guys have a level 3 garrison with the level 3 blacksmithing building, you're probably looking at about 17 to 20 of those per day, plus your 10, so let's say 30 on average a day. But we're going to play it a little safe, and we're going to say 20, because I realize not everyone is up there. So let's say we're making 20 of these a day. We need 200, so that's 10 days of playtime. Now, this takes really not a lot of time out there. The reason why these sell so good is everyone is going for those achievements. They want World First. They want to be that high-end Mythic Raiding Guild. Now, 665 BOE is easy to accomplish. You don't have to invest a lot of time. Now, one cool thing that really has always impressed me is how Blizzard kind of gives you the way to make money. They make your life a lot easier. So, with the new patch, they've already announced a new version of the True Steel Essence. From what I saw, it will still be 200 ignits. Now, right now, these greater True Steels on my server are selling dirt cheap. So about 23,000 gold. I sold one yesterday actually for about 21,500. 3 weeks ago, they're selling for over 60k. People are like, oh my god, 60,000 gold. Why? How? Where'd you get the money? Well, you guys have to realize these top-end raiding guilds have hundreds of thousands of gold in their bank that they are letting officers withdraw to hand that gold down to members, or they're putting officers in charge of going to the auction house and buying these. So we'll do a quick look at the Savage Bloods. Savage Bloods right now are 758 gold. Buying 15 of these will not break the bank. I know this sounds like a lot of gold to most of you guys, and of course somebody would do that. It sounds like a lot of gold, you know, and it really is a lot of gold. But this is just kind of like a higher end gold, but gold technique, but I'll also talk about making gold at the low end and really boosting up your income. As you know, you got to spend money to make money. The add-on that I use is only Auctioneer. I don't use anything else. I use Auctioneer and a calculator. That's it. Looking at these, you know, if you buy these Savage Bloods, let's say what, you're going to spend about 10 to 15k on the Savage Bloods, and you're still selling the item for 21k. So it's a 7,000 gold roughly profit doing really nothing. One thing that will always sell, and will always sell really high, are enchanting mats. Again, kind of the same principle of, oh look, somebody killed the auctioneer, of you know, everyone wants those enchants, everyone needs it to excel. Temporal crystals are a moneymaker, guys. Right now they're selling for 448 gold. Now traditionally these sell around 500 gold a piece, so even if you buy these at 448 gold each, there's still a possibility to make about 50 gold per profit. Now, looking at what they can sell for, I have seen these sell as low as 325, 350 gold a piece. If you know, after looking at your auction house for a few days, is, you know, it's just like eBay. It'll constantly go up and down, up and down, up and down. When you look at your auction house, you start seeing a trend in pricing. You're going to make your judgment based off the trend. Now, if you're buying these bad boys for 300 gold, they're selling for 500, 200 gold profit roughly per item. You're buying, you know, let's say 100 of them. You got 10,000 gold. You're buying 200 of them. It's 20,000 gold. Again, a lot of gold, right? A lot of money to be spent. Now, one thing that is commonly overlooked are the Dranic dusts. Now, Dranic dusts themselves are selling for, right now, it's 6 gold, 6.2 gold, right? So if you guys sell them for 10 gold a piece, now, you may think that's a lot, but if we start scrolling through, we see just on page 1, we go from 621 all the way to, and somebody keeps killing the auctioneer, so we go from 621 to 799 gold a piece, and then they just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. Now, if you buy these, even if you're buying them for 8 gold a piece, you're still making 2 gold. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you guys are buying 6, 7, 800 at a time, it adds up pretty quick. Now, you can use that gold off the lower end mats, invest it for the higher end mats. Another thing that will probably sell really soon and will sell for a lot are the gems. Now, there are quite a few gems out there that, of course, are extremely expensive. We're just going to do a quick gem search. Let's do... So the Greater Haste Talidite. Now this will give you 50 haste. Now it doesn't seem like it up, but again, 50 haste. If you do 3 or 4 of them, again, it's a nice little stat boost. You see these are going for 3,500 a piece. If you are a jewel crafter and you're making these, you guys aren't really spending any money to make them. You can probably make 2 to 3 a week. So you think, well, let's say an easy 10,000 gold. Honestly, if you're investing a lot in mats, if you're using your blacksmithing, if you're using your jewel crafting, or you're enchanting, the enchanting mats are extremely cheap at times, but the enchants themselves are extremely expensive. Now, looking at the auction house holistically, the prices will constantly fluctuate. Now, the one thing that drives me nuts about gold guides out there, you'll see, you know, on YouTube, you'll see something that says, oh, you know, make 30,000 gold in 10 minutes. Yeah, it is in 10 minutes, but what they're referring to is something like this, a sky golem. Yeah, it's 10 minutes of work throughout a 30-day time frame, so you're not really making that gold until 30 days passes. Right now, the sky golems are selling for not even any on the auction house. Probably selling, let's say, 20,000 gold. If you guys buy the living steels, you're going to need 30 of them. They're selling for about 300 to 350 gold. According to Auctioneer, 30 of them will run you 14,000 gold. Now, in 30 days, if you want to spend the 14,000 gold on the 30-day marker, you can sell the mount for around 20k. It's a 6,000 gold investment. So let's kind of look at dollar amounts, right? So let's say every 10 days, we're selling the Greater True Steels. We're making 7,000 gold in 10 days just off one item. And then we can add the Sky Golem to the list. We'll say we'll give ourselves, again, a low-end profit of 5,000. That's 13,000 gold. So we're looking at 13,000 gold in, let's say, a day if we're looking at the 30-day marker. Realistically, let's look at temporal crystals. If we're buying these bad boys, even at 400 gold or 425 gold, we're selling them for 500 gold. Let's do a quick, let's say we're making 50 gold profit off of those. Again, 50 gold is not that much, but when you guys have a plethora of these mats and you're pretty much controlling your market, there's not much else that can be bought. Even if you guys scout trade, because sometimes you'll see in trade, you know, selling temporal crystals, 300 of them for, you know, 350 gold each. I would say if you have the gold, buy them all, because you're guaranteed to flip it, especially with a new expansion, not expansion, but new patch coming out, opening a new raid. You know, those enchanters are going to be out there. They're going to be making those weapon enchants. They're going to be flipping that gold. On average, if you guys just buy mats and you play around with mat prices, you can make anywhere from 5,000 gold a day, upwards of, I want to say 7 to 8. I don't like saying you're going to make 20,000 gold a day, guys, because it's not always realistic. It's an auction house. You're going to be fighting the economy in the game the whole time. Right now on my tunes, I only have 101,000 gold, and I say only. The reason for that is I've had more. I think we've all had a lot more. I actually recently taught my girlfriend how to make gold, and coming into the new expansion, she... Look at these guys. What's going on? And I'm dying. That's awesome. And we're gonna run away. I'm just gonna stand away. All right, so we're not gonna use the auction house now because somebody's killing the auction house vendor. So let's say we're playing the auction house. We're making 5,000 gold a day, 7,000 gold a day. One thing that is commonly overlooked: if you guys PvP and you sell arena wins, how I do that on the Holy Pally, I'll take you into a 2s match if you really want to go. If you're under geared, it'll help carry you. It's going to cost you somewhere around 200 to 300 gold per win. If you guys do 10 a day, maybe it'll take you 30-40 minutes. If you do 10 a day, you're looking at 2,000 gold at minimum. So 2,000 gold off arenas. You're looking at about 5,000 to 7,000 off map flipping. So we, again, we're up there. Around that 13k a day. It's completely possible to make this gold, guys. It's just that fear of, okay, do I want to make the investment? But the thing that drives me nuts out there are those gold guys that say, yeah, you can make 50,000 gold in 20 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it is 20 minutes when you break it down minute by minute, but what they don't tell you, it's through a 30-day time frame on 6 different tunes or 3 different tunes. This is just one character that can pull in 7,000 gold a day. It's probably even higher on the higher end servers, or the servers at the elitist servers, as they say, where you're looking at temporal crystals going for 800-900 gold a piece, and you're buying them at 600 gold. That's 200 gold profit per crystal. Gems, going back into gems, guys, it doesn't take a lot of time to make those gems either. You saw them going there for 3,500. Guys, you don't have to be greedy. You can sell yours for 3,400. You're taking 100 gold loss if you may, but you're flipping it instantly. So if you sell 2 a day, that's another 700 gold, or 7,000 gold, I'm sorry. So if, let's say, we use blacksmithing every 10 days, right? So we're looking at 7,000 gold in 10 days off blacksmithing. We're looking at about 5,000 off mats a day. We're looking at about another 2,000 off arenas a day. It adds up quick. It adds up very, very quick. Again, everything that I do to make gold, I play the eBay game. Highest bidder takes it. And I sit there, when I'm in town, when I'm not in BGs or arenas, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at trade, and a girlfriend constantly rags at me. She's like, you're buying stuff again. I am. And you guys can look at my bank. I mean, I stockpile mats. She actually started doing the same thing. She started using alchemy to her advantage. She makes the flasks. She buys the flasks dirt cheap, and she stockpiles them. When we start seeing the prices go from, let's say, 20 gold to 40 gold, so they're increasing 100%, that's when she sells. So again, 40 gold profit, you're like, oh, it's only 40 gold. But again, guys, we're not playing I'm only selling one item at a time. Yeah, when you first start off, you're going to be doing that. But the more money you start making, the more money you're going to start investing. Now, there will be some scares, and I'm going to be honest with you. I played a temporal crystal roulette pretty heavy about 2 weeks ago, where I invested 30,000 gold into these bad boys, and I was having a hard time selling them. And that's because as soon as I bought them, whoever I bought them from reposted, but they posted higher, so I couldn't undercut to the point where I wanted to undercut. But again, no fear, 72 hours after the fact, I was able to sell them, and I still came out 12,000 gold on top of my original investment. And I'm not going out farming for hours, guys. That's another thing. We don't have time to farm anymore. We all have lives, as we say. For those that are pro streamers, awesome job, guys. Awesome job on that. You guys can definitely go ahead and smash in the auction house all day. One thing I do recommend when you're leveling, even if you don't have an enchanter's garrison, I recommend keeping all your greens, all your blues, throwing them in the bank. It sounds silly, in certain aspects. So blues roughly will disenchant anywhere from about 8 to 12 dust a piece. Now, you can also sell those for about 20 gold directly to the vendor, the actual item, let's say 20 gold. Sometimes if it's a weapon, it's 50 gold. So you think if you disenchant a weapon that's worth 50 gold, and you get 10 dust, dust are selling for about, again, we saw about 6.5 gold. So that will still outweigh what it can possibly sell for. Honestly, with gold guides and gold tips, because the market's changed so much, it's hard for us to sit here and say 100%, and this is how you make all the gold in the game, and this is how you get filthy rich, which, yeah, these are ways to get filthy rich, but again, it changes every single day. If you guys stay on your auction house, if you guys use Auctioneer, I recommend it. If you scan, hitting the scan button at the bottom left of Auctioneer, if you scan it once for 7 days, every day, right? One time a day for 7 days, it'll give Auctioneer enough data to calculate, what percentage these things are selling at. Another beautiful thing about Auctioneer, on the right-hand side, if you guys are so new to this add-on will greatly increase your profitability, because it'll show you percentages and what you're buying it at. If you see something selling at 48% and everything else in there is going for 79 or 84%, buy it. It doesn't matter if you don't need it. It's extra gold that you can make just running around town doing nothing. But honestly, I hope this kind of sheds some insight on how I make gold again. You know, the 100K gold, I made that probably in about a week and a half. I know it sounds crazy. I started off with 5K. I was just kept flipping. I was eating up the auction house. I was single-handedly controlling the Draining Dust auction house till I can control temporal crystals. From there, I started controlling gems as well as enchants. Now, guys, sometimes you can look out. You can get a weapon enchant for 5,000-6,000 gold, and you could sell it for 10,000. That's a quick 4,000 gold. So, I mean, if you guys put all these figures together, these numerical facts, if you made together, you guys can make a lot of coin. And I think you guys are going to do very, very well. But those are really my tips and strategies, guys. Honestly, anything you can do to maximize gold out there, definitely throw me tips as well, because I want to see what you guys are doing as well. You know, we all learn from each other. Now, one other thing I'm going to briefly talk about is doing old raids and old dungeons. Now, why, you ask? Bags to this day are going to be selling for a lot. If you can run an old, let's say, Kata raid or Kata dungeon, or an old Panda dungeon, or an old Lynch King raid or Lynch King dungeon, and you guys are picking up the, let's say, Frostweave. I'm going to use Frostweave as a great example. 20 Frostweave, 40 gold. You guys can do a heroic and probably pick up 120 within 10 minutes. Do the math, right? So we're looking at 6 stacks for 40 gold apiece, 240 gold in about 10 to 15 minutes. Plus blues you can sell, plus grays that will automatically vendor. When I do, because I used to do that quite a bit, but when I do it, I do use Traveler's Tundra Mammoth, because it minimizes my time going back to Dalaran or going back to Org and selling those mats and selling those grays. Not those mats, I'm sorry, but those grays. So that's another thing you can do on the side. But primarily, I play the auction house. I play it wisely. I use my blacksmithing to maximize my profit. Anything that I can farm just by playing around, I'll farm to, again, minimize my investment. But it's all about return on investment. You got to spend that gold to make that gold. But to everyone out there, thank you again for watching. I hope this sheds a little light on my tips and tricks, as we say, my little secrets. Definitely subscribe for more videos, guys. You can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZauNow. To all my Polish viewers, dziękuję strasznie, kocham was, and everybody, peace!